Sometimes, the smallest act of kindness can change your life in ways you never imagined. It all started on a quiet Tuesday morning, in a small town outside Dallas, when a struggling mechanic decided to help a stranger, not knowing that his one good deed would soon change his entire future. Hey everyone, welcome back to Kindness in Action, where we share true, heartwarming stories that remind us there's still good in the world. If you believe in kindness, hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Your support helps us keep spreading positivity, one story at a time. Jake Turner had grease on his hands and bills on his mind. His small auto repair shop had seen better days. Business had been slow for months, and the rent was overdue. But no matter how tough things got, Jake never turned anyone away who needed help, especially if they were struggling. That morning, as he was tightening the last bolt on an old pickup truck, he noticed a car slowly pulling into the lot. The sound of the engine wasn't right, it was sputtering and stalling like it could give up any second. When the car stopped, the passenger door opened, and out came a young woman in a wheelchair. She was smiling, but Jake could tell she'd been through a lot. The car was dusty and dented, and the prosthetic leg on her right side looked worn down and cracked, like it had seen too many miles. "Hey there," Jake greeted, wiping his hands on a rag. "What seems to be the problem?" The woman smiled shyly. "Actually, it's not the car this time," she said softly. "It's my leg. One of the joints broke loose, and I can't get it to lock properly. I was hoping maybe you could take a look. You fix machines, right?" Jake blinked. He wasn't a doctor or a prosthetic technician, just a mechanic. But when he saw the look on her face, he couldn't say no. He gently knelt beside her wheelchair and examined the prosthetic leg. It was a high-end model, but the locking mechanism at the knee joint had come loose. The screws were stripped, and part of the hinge was bent. "Well," Jake said after a moment, "I think I can fix this. It's not that different from a car part, just smaller." She laughed softly. "You'd really try?" "Of course," he said, smiling. "I can't promise it'll be perfect, but I'll do my best." Jake went to his workbench and gathered a few small tools, a precision screwdriver, a file, and a couple of washers. He treated the leg with the same care he would give to a delicate engine, adjusting the joint, tightening the screws, and smoothing out the bent metal. The woman watched quietly, her eyes filling with emotion. "You didn't even ask my name," she said after a few minutes. Jake chuckled. "I figure names can wait till after the leg's working." When he finished, he carefully reattached the leg and helped her test it. She took a few steps, unsteady at first, then smiled wide as she realized it was holding perfectly. "It works," she said, tears in her eyes. "It really works." Jake grinned. "Guess I didn't do too bad for a car guy." She reached into her purse, but Jake quickly stopped her. "No charge," he said firmly. "Just glad I could help." Her eyes widened. "But you don't even know me. You spent an hour fixing this." He shrugged. "Sometimes people need a little kindness. Besides, it looks like you've had a tough run. Keep your money." She stared at him for a long moment, clearly moved. Then she smiled again, and for the first time that day, Jake saw real warmth in her eyes. "Thank you," she whispered. "You have no idea how much this means to me." She introduced herself as Emily, then drove away, waving through the window. Jake went back to work, not realizing that this moment of kindness was about to change his life forever. A month passed, and Jake's life didn't get any easier. The bills piled up, and he was close to shutting down his shop for good. One morning, he was sitting on a milk crate outside his garage, sipping cold coffee and wondering what he'd do next, when he heard the sound of a helicopter overhead. He looked up, and nearly dropped his cup. The helicopter was landing right there, on the empty lot next to his shop. Dust and debris swirled everywhere. Jake shielded his eyes as the rotors slowed, and then he saw a familiar face stepping out. It was Emily. She was smiling from ear to ear, wearing a sharp red jacket and walking steadily on her repaired leg. Behind her were two men in suits carrying briefcases. "Jake," she called out. He was stunned. "Emily? What in the world?" She walked right up to him. "I told you that day you had no idea how much your kindness meant to me," she said, her voice trembling with excitement. "You fixed my leg when I had nowhere else to go. And I never forgot it." Jake was speechless. "You didn't have to." But before he could finish, she handed him a sealed envelope. Inside was a check. Jake blinked, thinking his eyes were playing tricks on him. The amount written was $250,000. He looked up in shock. "Emily, I can't accept this." She smiled. "You can and you will. You see, I'm not just any woman with a broken prosthetic. I own a company that designs advanced prosthetics for veterans and accident survivors. I was visiting small towns to see how people lived with the devices. That day, I was testing a new model, the one you fixed." Jake's mouth fell open. "You're serious?" "Completely," she said. "You treated me like a person, not like a project. You didn't judge, didn't ask for anything in return. That kind of kindness deserves to be recognized." He was speechless, his eyes filling with tears. "Emily, I was just doing what anyone should do." She shook her head. "No, Jake. Not everyone would have done what you did. But you did it anyway. And I want to help you keep doing that." Then she pointed to the men behind her. "These are my company partners. We'd like to sponsor your shop. You'll get new equipment, better tools, and full funding. In return, I just want you to keep helping people,